You might not know from just this clip, but this man, Ichiro Suzuki, is about to have quite possibly the greatest moment of his life. It is the most perfect, full circle moment beyond anything he could have dreamed of. Genuinely, it is the perfect goodbye a person can have from their job. Maybe even going one step further and calling it his way of life. Alright, fine. I'll quit being so sappy right from the get-go and give you the context first. Please enjoy, and if you do, please consider subscribing to the channel for more like this. This is YouTube after all. Before Ichiro was one of the greatest baseball players in MLB history, there was some serious doubt that he would be a success of any kind in the majors. When he came over from Japan in 2001, he was the very first Japanese hitter to try and make the jump to the United States. You know how when Shohei Ohtani first came over to the Angels, there were really wrong scouts who compared him to a high school hitter? Because high school hitters definitely do this, you know? Hold on, I gotta edit this like one of those MLB The Show home run montage TikTok things you get all the time now.
A one pitch, taken high and deep to right field. Ohtani has blown the roof off the Tokyo Dome.
Ichiro was quickly concerning American talent evaluators when he came over to the Seattle Mariners, which had been a dream of his for years before actually putting on their uniform officially. He showed a strong tendency early in spring training to make weak contact to the opposite field, which was a red flag to Mariners manager Lou Piniella. One of Piniella's former players, MLB The Show legend and former runner pegger Rob Dibble, bet him a tattoo on his butt that Ichiro could not lead the league in batting average. Ichiro deliberately started hitting rockets to his pull side just to prove that he could, and led MLB in batting average in his first season. So now Rob Dibble has an Ichiro tattoo on his butt. Yeah. I use these stories to make a point that's going to be a central theme here. Ichiro kinda just does things his way. Like, simply going by Ichiro. Being a one-named figure in baseball was pretty unprecedented. You see those figures in pop culture all the time throughout the years. Prince, Adele, McLovin, among others. Having the back of his jersey read his first name was only an Ichiro thing. So was his style of play once he entered the league. He won an MVP as a rookie. He broke the record for hits in a single season in his fourth year. He was an All-Star and a Gold Glove Award winner in each of his first 10 seasons with the Mariners. He basically defied the idea that you couldn't be a spray-hitting singles guy in what was still the steroid era, and had consistent success on the stat sheets for a decade in Major League Baseball. And he hit over 300 in every one of those 10 seasons. Every year there were doubters. Every year he still did his thing, and did it wonderfully. So Ichiro was pretty good, and a whole lot of different people loved him in Seattle.
Ichiro gets over, reaches into the crowd, and he can't get to it down the line. Young fan down there. Very excited. She almost came away with the baseball. She's getting ready to get on her cell phone to tell everybody what just took place. She did it.
Fair ball, hit hard. Ball girl gets out of the way. Ackley going to second. He's going to go to third. No way. Oh, come on. He had three.
It was Ichiro that did it.
No way. Dude. Who's that? Carlos Silva's got Ichiro. 51. Number 52. This is a great ending to a very successful season here in Seattle.
Then, at age 37, he started to slip a little. And at age 38, the unthinkable happened. The Mariners traded Ichiro to the New York Yankees. His first at-bat with the Yankees was against the Mariners, in Seattle, which was kinda weird, but super cool at the same time. Those are basically my exact thoughts on the newest Lil Yachty album, if you ever need a music recommendation. After a weird Yankees tenure, we got an even weirder Marlins tenure. They loved him though. Sold some jerseys with his name in Japanese, he got his 3,000th hit there.
He's got 3,000 American hits?
Yes, Mike Francesa, his 3,000th American hit. And for extra weirdness, he hit a home run as a Marlin in Seattle playing against the Mariners. But at age 44, I think Ichiro figured out that this was extremely odd, so he decided to finally go back to his MLB home. Ichiro realized his career for the past couple years looked as wrong as the one Family Guy universe where Stewie and Brian were humans. Alright, so there also was the animated human Brian from the same episode, but we're talking about like the real world shot. So we got what looked right for his final stop. You know who else looks right in Mariner stuff? Hold on, watch this. As the second oldest player in Major League Baseball behind this guy, Ichiro's return to Seattle was not great. Everyone realized his hitting just wasn't going to cut it anymore, so they agreed to move him to a front office role in early May, where he wouldn't officially close the door on his playing career. That's because the perfect opportunity to close his career was very much on its way. You want to take a guess where 2019 Mariners opening day was? Japan. As in, Ichiro's home country, Japan. Man, you think they loved Ichiro in the US. You can't even put it into words the kind of love Japan had for him, watching him accomplish great things in the States. The Mariners were allowed 3 extra players for this series. Ichiro was put on the roster. Once their time in Japan ended, everyone kinda knew Ichiro wasn't gonna step on a big league field ever again. This was the beginning of the end. It started with a Mariners exhibition in Tokyo against Japan's Yomiuri Giants. He went hitless in 3 at-bats, but everyone knew what was going on was special. They enjoyed the moment and wanted to be a part of the moment. The fans cheered the loudest for him, all his Mariners teammates made sure to bow for him, and one of the Yomiuri pitchers made sure to note that he intentionally only threw fastballs to Ichiro out of respect. And look at this cannon from 45-year-old Ichiro, just like in the good old days. From there, the MLB season kicked off with the Mariners playing the Oakland A's. Ichiro had 2 plate appearances on opening night. He popped out on the second pitch he saw in his first at-bat, then worked a 9-pitch walk in his second plate appearance. It was the last time Ichiro would ever be on base in his career. He was removed from this game before hitting again, and was replaced in the lineup by this man. Ichiro went 0 for 4 on the next night, his final game in Major League Baseball. The closest he came to a hit was on his final at-bat, almost beating out an infield single, which he had done plenty of times in his big league career. He then took one final jog out to right field, had a moment to bask in the environment, and then left the field for the final time. I don't care at all that he went 0 for 4. That does not matter whatsoever here. There are so many reasons why this could have seemed too good to be true. The odds of it being in his home country, in front of his domestic fans, all of his teammates taking the time to show him love, his hero/best friend making the trip to be there to support. There have been well over 20,000 players in MLB history. Not a single one of them ever had the stars align this well. And we don't talk about that enough. The sheer probability of all this happening and being so beautiful makes me not even care at all about the on-field performance during his time in Japan. It doesn't matter that this was just 2 regular season games in March. And it doesn't matter that he didn't get a hit. This is the kind of thing you write for a sappy movie that gets a 43% on Rotten Tomatoes because the plot isn't realistic enough. He was honored to be given the opportunity to close out his career as a 45-year-old back in his home country. A country he helped win 2 World Baseball Classics and was proud to represent. A place where, if you combine his professional time there and with Major League Baseball, he played the most seasons a hitter has ever played in high-level baseball, accumulating the most hits in high-level baseball in the process. Ever. It's been 4 years now, and we still don't really talk about how good this was. Any part of the equation. This is just so cool. The accomplishments the man had, or the unbelievably satisfying and emotional end to it all. For me, it doesn't get any better than tonight. Nothing can top what happened for me here, Ichiro said after the game when he officially announced his retirement. And you know what? He's 1,000% right. There is no getting better than that. There is no topping that finale.